Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly as part of our Roadmap to Recovery series. And I'm joined today by Janet Parton, who is the Sales and Marketing Director at Cosmos, and joining us all the way from Scotland, Janet.
I am. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. I'm in a very sunny Inverness, which actually we've been really fortunate with the weather. We've had some really lovely, beautiful days and a few rainy days, but the sun's shining right now. But I'm in my hotel room waiting for my flight. So you'll have to excuse the background, which is actually
background, yes.
But yeah, my room is like a whirlwind, has been through it. So I thought I'd put this.
Well, the background is good. And of course, it's apt because you're in Scotland because you've just been on one of your own tours. And this is part of your new range, UK Stay and Explore. So tell us about the range and why you introduced them.
Yeah, so we introduced at the beginning of the year 3 new tours to our portfolio. So UK Stay and Explore tours. And it was an indirect response to the pandemic that we find ourselves in. So, we traditionally send people overseas to the US, to Canada, to Europe, and we obviously haven't been able to do that. So we pulled together a offering for UK guests to stay within the UK. We have a big part of our operations actually for inbound travel into the UK. So we already do UK tours for international guests, but we've never really sold them to the UK guests. So these have been specifically designed with the UK guest in mind. And the reason that they're slightly different is that you actually stay in one central location and then a bit like a hub and spoke. So you stay in that hotel for the duration of the holiday, which is 5 days. And then we take people out every day and see somewhere different and go and see different attractions and sites in the surrounding areas.
Janet, just before you move on then, why did you feel the Brits needed a different kind of tour than that you're already offering? And this staying in one place, is that entirely designed to cater for Brit needs, or is it also slightly to do with the pandemic and not having to keep moving and checking into lots of different places?
Bit of both. So we did, obviously before we pulled all this together, customer sentiment was really important to us. We put out a survey just to ask them what they would like. And they did say that they would like to have one continuous stay. They didn't want to have the movement of different hotels. And I think that was partly down to the COVID issue that we find ourselves in. But also the resounding feedback was that actually they just want a base, and that they wanted the base to be somewhere central. So we've made sure that the hotels that we're using on these Stay and Explore tours are all within, their city centres. There you can walk out of the hotel and you can go to bars, restaurants, and you're in the heart of the city. So you don't actually have to worry about public transport or anything. So that was another key reason behind these hotels. And we have Scotland, which is where I am now. So the Scottish Explorer Tour, which is based in Inverness. And we have the Jersey Explorer Tour based in St Helier, and then the Heart of England, which is based in Stratford.
Okay. And tell us then, I mean, I don't know when you put them on sale, but how have they sold? I mean, have you had some past guests joining you, some new guests maybe?
They've done really well, and and that's a great big thank you to the travel agents out there who've really got behind these tours, and we really do appreciate it. They've sold really well. We've been really surprised by how well they have done actually for a new product. Jersey is obviously a big pull for everybody with the sun and the beautiful beaches, so that's done really well. The Scottish tour has just flown off the shelf, so much so that we've added new additional departures throughout the summer months. So we've got one tour every week for the next 4 weeks, and then we're every fortnight then through until September. So they've done really, really well. There was another part to that question that you were.
I was asking if they were the people who've been booking, are they existing Cosmos customers who can't go to Europe and the States, and that they've just decided they just can't be without a Cosmos tour and they've come on this, or is it new to tour?
It's a blend. So we're on the coach on Wednesday actually. Our tour guide did a very scientific poll of hands in the air if you've been on a coach tour before, and half of the coach had and half hadn't. So, and we're finding that across most of these UK Stay and Explore tours, actually, that 50% of guests have travelled on a coach tour before, so they know what they know what it's about, they know what happens on tour. But there is, still 50% is new for them, and I think part of the reason we've appealed to a new audience is that it is that stay option where you don't have to feel like you're moving around and on a constant basis. So I think that has really appealed to a new audience.
And you're saying that these are running for another 4 weeks or so. And do you have availability still for the rest of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. So the tours are actually running all the way through until October, but the Scottish ones specifically, we've got every single week running. But yeah, we still have availability throughout the summer months. They've done so well that we've actually kept them in the portfolio for 2022. So they're on sale for 2022. Now, I'm sure, we would all love to be sending our guests overseas again by 2022, but, we do believe that these are a great addition to our portfolio, so we've kept them in.
And might you even do more? I mean, you've got your 3, Jersey, Scotland and Heart of England, but might you do others?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why we wouldn't. And actually, on the tour that I'm on at the moment, I've actually had our product managing director on this tour as well, and we've actually been discussing what other destinations around the UK might appeal. So if anyone's got any suggestions or ideas that they would like to see us feature, then please just let us know, because we'd love to hear your feedback. But yeah, we're definitely looking to try and introduce some more if we can.
Okay, and then obviously now you've experienced it yourself. Can you just sort of paint a picture for us, Janet, of what it's been like, and particularly in light of perhaps the new protocols that you've had to put in place, around mask wearing or social distancing, and the choices you've made about where to take people?
I mean, first and foremost, health and safety is paramount to our guests and to our staff. So, that's the highest thing on our agenda. The hotels that we've picked, we've made sure that they adhere to our health and safety protocols. So they've been specifically chosen to make sure that they're in line with what we would expect. We are asking for all of our guests to be double vaccinated to travel with us. And if there's any reason why they can't be double vaccinated, so if they're medically exempt, then we're just asking for a negative test within 72 hours before travel. It's been really well received by our guests. I think everybody wants the comfort to know that they're safe on board, and that their fellow passengers are vaccinated. So that's been really positive. We haven't really had much pushback on that. There's been a couple of people that haven't been vaccinated, and we've just said fine. We just want the proof of the negative test. So that's really important. In terms of actually on the coach, we're adhering to social distancing on the coach. All 3 of the Stay and Explore tours are small group tours, so they don't hold any more than 24 passengers on each one. We're still on our same 4 to 6 seater coaches, so there's lots of room for guests to spread out. Every time the guests get off the coach to go and visit an attraction, the driver is coming through the coach and sanitizing everything, so that when the guests get back on again, it's all been cleaned down for them. The attractions and the sites that we've chosen, again, we're making sure that they're adhering to health and safety protocols. Guests are wearing masks on the coaches, but once they get off the coach and they're in the open air, they can obviously take those off. Many of the attractions that we're visiting are open air attractions as well. Not all of them. I mean, we're in Brodie Castle here on Monday, and obviously that's a castle, it's indoors. But then guests were asked to wear their mask indoors. So I can honestly say it has not detracted from the overall experience whatsoever.
Well, my next question was going to be what have the guests said? I mean, they kind of expect it now. We have to do it, don't we, in everyday life? So
exactly, they're doing it every single day. So we're not asking them to do anything different or unusual here. So every person that I spoke to on this tour has had an amazing time, and certainly the health and safety measures that we've put into place aren't impacting on their holiday. In fact, they're grateful for them because they feel safe.
Okay, and sorry, just to go back to, I know we talked about whether they were new to tour, but in terms of the profile, sort of age group, or are people coming in couples, or are they coming in group? I mean, what is it the same as you would normally get, or have you noticed any sort of different trends for this?
We've got more singles on these tours, and I think partly that's because for all of our UK and Stay and Explore tours, we've got a number of rooms where they've had no single supplement on. So we've introduced singles. In fact, our Heart of England tour this week, I think, had 16 singles on. And Giles, our CEO, hosted that one this week, so he's had a great time, I'm sure. And one specific agent really got behind that tour and really pushed that from a singles market. The tour that I've been on and the Jersey tour, it's been a bit of a mix. We've had what I would call a typical touring customers, so 55 plus in a couple, and that's probably the norm. But then on the tour that I'm on now, you know, I've had 2 pairs of girls who were just friends, who were just here, and they were sort of my age, mid-40s.
Okay, so actually a real range, and it would sell to anyone. And so, you know, you mentioned that Giles has been on the Heart of England one. You've been in Scotland. I know you're very kindly hosting one of our Travel Weekly journalists in Jersey, so she's going to be writing lots about it, so you can read about that. But why did you decide to do that, Janet? Is it because you want to be able to then explain it to the trade partners? You know, why did you decide it was important for you as directors to join these first tours?
You know, these are new to us. They're new to us, so we wanted to experience it ourselves and make sure that we've got it right. But these are also the first tours that we've sent away in 15 months. And it's so exciting for us to be able to get our coaches back on the road and to take guests away. You know, this is what we do. This is what, you know, what we specialize in. So to be able to welcome our very first guests in 15 months was something that, you know, was really important to us. And, you know, and we wanted to make sure it was right. And thankfully, you know, the teams behind the scenes have done an amazing job of making sure that these tours were as smooth as they possibly could do. And
well, yeah, and you mentioned then that the driver is having to do the cleaning. I mean, have you had to kind of retrain staff to do different jobs now, slightly different jobs, you know?
I don't think it's a question of retraining. I think all of our tour directors, our drivers are so passionate about what they do and passionate about creating the best guest experience that they can, that this wasn't about training. They wanted to do it. You know, they want to do this. I mean, I came back, we were on Wednesday, we were in Loch Ness, and I came back from a photo stop, and the driver is on his knees and he's polishing the wheel hubs or the wheel caps of the top of the wheels. And I actually said, Scott, what are you doing? He was like, oh, you know, it just needed a bit of a polish. They take so much pride in these coaches. So it's not, you know, whilst we want them to do it and it's expected, it's certainly not, you know, they don't feel like they're being forced into anything.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly encouraging. You look like you've had a really fun time. And I think, you know, any agents watching this, I guess they can be really confident then sort of selling these tours. We know that there's, you know, difficulties getting elsewhere. So this would be a good option, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's a great option. And you know, the great thing about these UK tours is that if people don't want to fly, they don't have to. They could drive to the hotel or they could catch the train to the hotel. You don't have to fly. Well, Jersey, fly or ferry. Unless you're a really good swimmer. But you know, there are other ways to get to these hotels, and I can confidently say, you know, I've had the best time. I've seen things that I've, you know, would never have expected.
Did you see the Loch Ness Monster?
Yes.
Keep up the mystery.
But you know, the scenery has just been fantastic, and it's just blown my mind, the Scottish Highlands. I've never been here before, and you know, I will absolutely come back again. So you know, travel agents out there,
times what's on our own doorsteps, you know.
I know it's just stunning. And I think all the feedback that we've had from all 3 of the tours this week has been the same. You know, I'm not just trying to champion the Scottish tour. They've all had really amazing feedback. So
is there going to be some kind of battle now internally, like between you and Giles, like who can sell their tour better?
Well, I think I've already won that battle because Aled Jones tweeted me. You know, Giles didn't have any celebrity guest endorsement or celebrity endorsement. So yeah, I've already won the battle.
Already won. All right. Well, it's so kind of you to join us, because I think it's just given us a real flavour of a new product for you, but something that, you know, agents can get behind. If they sell it now for this summer, they'll get commission soon, because that's obviously crucial for agents at the minute, isn't it?
Absolutely, they'll get commission on it. Prices are really, really fantastic. 549 per person for our Scottish tour. That's 5 nights in a central hotel in Inverness. You can't, you know, just to get your hotel alone would be that. Never mind all of the fast track access that we're putting in, and you know, beat the queues and entrances into different attractions. So we've also got a booking incentive on at the moment for travel agents. So if they do book any one of our Stay and Explore tours, they can claim £40 worth of vouchers as well.
Well, that is worth having. Definitely. All right. Well, we're so grateful for you joining us, Janet. Come home safely.
Well, I've got to get to the airport.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you. you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.